It was the morning of my 100th birthday. I shaved the final mirror disc of old, tired face under the merciless glare of the bathroom lighting. It was all very well telling oneself that Humphrey Bogart had that sort of face, but he also had a hairpiece, $500,000 a year, and a stand-in for the rough bits. I dabbed a soda stick at the razor nicks. In the magnifying mirror, it looked like a white rocket landing on the uncharted side of the moon. Outside was February, and the first snow of the year. At first, it was the sort of snow that a sharp PR man would make available to journalists. It sparkled and floated. It was soft yet crisp, like some new sugar-coated breakfast cereal. Girls wore it in their hair, and the Telegraph ran a picture of a statue wearing some. It was hard to reconcile this benign snow with the stuff that caused paranoia among British Railways officials. That Monday morning, it was building up in crunchy wedges under the heels of shoes and falling in dry white pyramids along the front hall of the Charlotte Street office where I worked. I said, "Good morning," to Alice, and she said, "Don't tread it in," to me, which summed up our relationship nicely. The Charlotte Street building was an ancient, creaking slum. The wallpaper had great boils full of loose plaster, and there were small metal patches in the floor where the boards were too rotten to repair. On the first floor landing was a painted sign that said Acme Films Cutting Rooms, and under that a drawing of a globe that made Africa too thin. From behind the doors came the noise of a moviola and a strong smell of film cement. The next landing was painted with fresh green paint. On one door, a dog-eared piece of headed notepaper said B. Isaacs, theatrical tailor, which at one time I considered very funny. Behind me, I heard Alice puffing up the stairs with a catering-sized tin of Nescafe. Someone in the dispatch department put a brass band record on the gramophone. Dawlish, my boss, was always complaining about that gramophone, but even Alice couldn't really control the dispatch department. My secretary said, "Good morning." Jean was a tall girl in her middle-20s. Her face was as calm as Nembutal, and with her high cheekbones and tightly drawn-back hair, she was beautiful without working at it. There were times when I thought I was in love with Jean, and there were times when I thought she was in love with me, but somehow these times never coincided. "Good party?" I asked. "You seemed to enjoy it. When I left, you were drinking a pint of bitter while standing on your head." "You do exaggerate. Why'd you go home alone?" "I have 2 hungry cats to support. 2:30 is definitely my bedtime." "I'm sorry," I said. "Don't be, truly.